They told me I couldn't fly the American flag on my own property. By the time I was done, the entire neighborhood was covered in red, white, and blue, and the HOA was finished. Here's how it happened. When my wife and I moved into Willow Heights, we wanted peace. A quiet street, good schools, and a place where I could finally relax after 20 years in the Army. The first thing I did after unpacking boxes was mount a flagpole on my porch. Every morning, I raised Old Glory with pride. For me, it wasn't decoration. It was sacrifice, service, and freedom. Neighbors waved. Kids on bikes saluted. The flag belonged there, but not to Linda, the HOA president. Linda was the kind of person who thought she owned the air you breathed. She carried a binder of rules like it was scripture, patrolled the neighborhood in her golf cart, and smiled only when issuing fines. One morning, I found a letter on my door. Flag display violates community aesthetics. Remove immediately or face fines. I laughed out loud. Who fines someone for flying the American flag? Then came the fines. $50, $100, $200. Each letter more aggressive than the last. Apparently, Linda believed patriotism clashed with her beige shutters and white picket fences. The breaking point came on a Friday night. I woke to my daughter's voice calling from the porch. She held something crumpled in her hands. It was my flag. The HOA had trespassed, pulled it down, and dumped it in the trash. I saw tears in her eyes as she whispered, "Dad, why would they do this?" That was the moment I decided. This wasn't just about me. It was about everyone who believed in freedom. I started researching. Buried in state and federal statutes was exactly what I needed. The Freedom to Display the American Flag Act. HOAs could not ban or remove flags. What Linda had done was not just petty, it was illegal. I could have gone straight to court. But revenge tastes sweeter when it's shared. The next morning I drove to a hardware store. Bought 200 American flags. Small ones, medium ones, big ones. Every size they had. Then I went door to door. Want a free flag? The HOA says we're not allowed. By sunset, more than half the houses on my street had flags waving. By the end of the week, it looked like the 4th of July had exploded across Willow Heights. Red, white, and blue stretched as far as the eye could see. Kids painted stars on the sidewalks. Veterans in the neighborhood saluted every morning. Cars honked as they drove past. And Linda? She looked like she'd swallowed a lemon every time she left her house. Her final meltdown came during an emergency HOA meeting. She stood at the podium, binder in hand, screeching about uniform standards and property values. But instead of nodding along, neighbors booed her. Some waved little flags in the air. Others chanted, "Let it fly! Let it fly!" To make matters worse for her, local news crews showed up. The cameras captured everything. A furious HOA president raging against American flags, while families stood proudly with their children. The next morning, the footage aired statewide. And that afternoon, the state attorney general's office delivered a letter. The HOA had violated federal law. Penalties would be applied immediately. The fallout was swift. Linda was forced to resign in disgrace. The HOA paid thousands in fines. And new bylaws were written guaranteeing every homeowner the right to fly the flag. Neighbors threw a block party. Flags lined every yard. Barbecue smoke filled the air. And kids played under the very symbol Linda had tried to destroy. I stood with my daughter watching fireworks crackle above us. She tugged my sleeve and smiled. "Dad, we won, didn't we?" I put my arm around her shoulders. "They tried to take down one flag," I said. "But instead we raised an army of them."